People, deluded, I'm back again. Another day, another young player has been announced as going out on loan. Young Matt Smith has joined Swindon Town on loan for the rest of the season, or for the new season, better yet. Obviously, he follows Zach Swanson, Trey Coyle, Zach Medley as well, in players that, you know, see the next step in their career or their development as being exposed to senior football. You've obviously got the two boys in Medley and Coyle playing League One, and you've obviously got the same thing for newly promoted Swindon Town. They've just come out of League Two, you know, they're in League One, and it's a very good thing for Matt Smith. For me, first and foremost, he gets to play senior games. I think he's, listen, when I say underrated, that doesn't mean I think he's world class or going to be this and that. I just feel for people that watch Arsenal's youth academy or youth players, for a number of years, Matt Smith, in terms of putting in consistent performances, was underrated. You know, he hasn't got the most imposing figure in midfield. You know, he's not the most dynamic. But what I like about him, he fights for everything. He passes the ball forward. He always looks forward. He's very good in possession. He's a very underrated prospect. And I mean, a bit of reflection of that is to, you know, you've seen Arteta's exposed him to the first team. He's got to train with them. He's been on the bench. He's played the FA Cup. Obviously, he's played no minutes and he never got, you know, any minutes for Arsenal. But it's a good look. And the next step for him after putting in a good couple of years at under 18s level, equally doing the same thing at 23s, is to play senior football. Now for him, you know, Matt Smith is irrelevant. He's just Matt Smith the footballer. He's not Matt Smith Arsenal young player when you go to Swindon. He's fighting amongst that squad to be a member of the starting 11 and things like that. So for him, I hope he wins that battle and, you know, shows in training that he deserves to be the one to start. Obviously, there's exposure to the first team as well, to a first team level environment and having to deal with the consistencies. And if fans do return the 12th man, you know, nothing can prepare you. And this is what you want to see at 19. You want to see people go out on loan, go and play games and expose themselves to senior football. And, you know, I wish him the best of luck. If I just type in Swindon Town really quickly, I just want to see who their gaffer is and their manager and the rest of it, people. Where's transfer mark? And again, why I like it as well, he's gone from playing 23s football, where obviously there's things on the line, but it doesn't mean anything, to what you'd probably expect Swindon. They want to stay in the league. They'll probably be in a relegation battle. If, you know, they show consistencies, they can go ahead of that. So he's going to have to battle. And Swindon Town take a number of players on loan and do their thing, people. And just by looking at their team, you know, it normally shows you the average age. The average age is 25, so they're not the biggest, the oldest of squads, so there must be other youth in there. You've got a 19-year-old keeper. I don't know if he's made any appearances. You've got some players. I'm trying to see if there's anybody of note. Isn't Anthony Grant the one that played for Chelsea? So there's no one I can immediately thingy, but there's you know, he's joining a team that has some. You got Hallen Hope from ex-Everton lad, so there is some quality in there, and it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to their tactics, how he, you know, deals with showing consistency game in, game out, how he just deals with being experienced, being exposed to the first team environment and experiencing first team football. So Matt Smith, we wish you all the best, man. I hope you do your thing there. Like I said, man, he's at that age he needs to play first team football, and a lot of what I like is a lot of our young players are understanding that. Between our young players and the coaching staff, they're seeing it. You know, players need to go out and play football. Obviously, we probably will have a less competitive 23 side, but in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't mean anything, and that can be a benefit, because when you look at the names I've said going out on loan and those expected to leave on loan, and players that have left permanently like Nathan Tormey, who rejected a new deal, Robbie Burton, who left, Ollie Inca will probably depart, with Osei Tutu and Ben Shafe in some capacity. You know, players are going to play senior football on a permanent basis, leaving the club. Players are going on a temporary basis on loan. You know, and we want to see them play football, because they're all at this age where they've got to be selfish. Before you know it, your contract will be running down at this club, and sadly you might leave, and you've got no experience the first team. If you're not in Arteta's plans, at least give yourself a solid sort of grounding sort of thing to walk with. These players are at that age where they've got to look in August and say, okay, what can I do a year from now so I can be a dramatically better player? And that's not going to help a lot of these playing 23s levels. They've passed that level. You know, players don't want to be there. Medley should have went on loan last year. Coyle wants to be experienced. Matt Smith, Zach Swanson wants to grab first team football. And for me, the one benefit is there's opportunities for younger players. Tyrese John-Jules probably goes out on loan. Balogun either leaves permanently or he might stay. So there's opportunities for our under 18s to be exposed to 23s football if they play their cards right. And they might get battered, they might be behind physically in speed or thought, but they're learning, and that's a benefit. If we free up spaces because other people are doing their development, then it's all fine and game. It's all fun and games and fine and dandy. And for me, you know, we've got a lot to move on as a club, and you've seen all the rumours at all different levels with our club. But one thing I give the club and Mertesacker and everybody with all the young players credit for is we seem to have a real plan, and we're executing it, quickly with these loan players. You know, Mavropanos' first team, but Mavropanos gone on loan very quickly, very good loan spell, going to Stuttgart, playing, well, not playing under Mislintat, but, you know, Mislintat knows all about him, so you'd imagine it's a decent loan spell. You know, newly promoted League One side Swindon Town, you know, Medley and Coyle going to League One, and, you know, it's a good experience for them, because you can't, you know, minutes are currency. You can't, you know, playing is the best experience because you're going to get more development, and there's nothing like playing the senior game. You'd imagine that this is, once you get to this level, I'm not saying you won't stay at 23s, but you want, ideally, they'll want to go on loan again, because you don't want to play 23s. You can't look at Ben Shea. If you can't go from playing in midfield week in, week out at Doncaster in big games to playing, you know, Arsenal versus this and that, the occasional EFL trophy, or the occasional Arsenal versus Chelsea's under 23s where, you know, is a good game, or the occasional game against whatever side where players that are not playing in the first team get dropped and obviously play against you, and there's good little tests. So I'm not saying 23s is a graveyard per se. I'm just saying once you've got your feet wet in there and you turn like 19, everyone's different, but should be trying not to play in there, you know, leave it as quick as possible. Do you get it, people? So, you know, good luck to Matt Smith. We'll see what happens. But on that note, it's always a pleasure. Deluded, I'm out.